need you to win this race tomorrow. And I need you to do it by running in square feet.
But Mom...
No buts. That's what I need you to do.
I will.
What you're about to see might be a little hard to watch. If you thought that was a little silly, maybe you should think about how your teachers feel when you use the wrong units.
Regular measurement is just measuring the distance between 2 points. For example, from A to B would be about 3 inches. On this ruler, you can see that there are 12 inches total on here, which does equal a foot. Let's go ahead and take a look at some real-world examples of just measuring pure distance. Here we'll take a pencil I've used quite a bit that's maybe a little bit shorter than some other pencils, but we will measure it, and it is almost to 6 inches. Distance between A and B, just between 2 points is what we're measuring. Now as you can see, I've got this tape measure out about as far as I can get right here, but you'll notice that doesn't get me all the way to the truck, and sometimes you might have to reuse part of your tool if your tool isn't long enough when measuring distance. So we're at 25 feet right here. Keller, go ahead and run to me. There we go, and he's going to stand right here where I'm at. All right there. So that's 25 feet from there to here, but now we have to add on the distance from there to here. So 25 feet plus, that looks to be exactly 10 feet. 25 plus 10, 35 feet down the driveway. Now again, you might be not too excited about measuring the distance of a driveway, but let's see what that looks like in reality. Probably just need to go ahead and run for it. All right, distance traveled, I'd say 30 feet. That's pretty good range. All right, boys. 1, 2, 3, go. Come on. Come on. I did not like the... Okay, hold on. All right, it's open. Okay, area is not the measurement of distance between 2 points. You can't just measure from here to here and find area. No worky. It is not the distance between A and B, but rather it is how much space is actually taken up on this. But at some point in history, somebody had to come up with the idea to how to measure the space that's taken up on an item. And so what they did is they came up with the idea of measuring in squares. So literally, what they did was they came up with the idea of saying, hey, we'll break a space into squares and we'll measure that. So here's 1, 2, that you take the number of squares and that tells you the area. So you can break this. This could be anything at this point. This could be feet. It could be yards. This take one, sometimes it's hard to understand why we use area. The first thing you've got to really understand is that anytime that you're going to talk about area, you're talking about the surface of something and how much space is being taken up on a surface. So let's go ahead and take a look at this field behind me. Let's say I wanted to see how long it would take me to mow this field. Well, the easiest thing to do would be able to go ahead and break this down into squares and then see how long it takes to mow each of these squares. So, for example, if I broke it into these squares and I decided that it would take me 20 minutes to mow each one of these squares of this, actually calculated out. It would take me about 3 months to do this entire field. So obviously this is a big no-go for me. Thank you guys for watching part 1 of Area. In part 2, we will go ahead and take a look of how people use square units in the real world, and finally in part 3, we will get to how you actually calculate area and use it on paper.